Hey, what's going on YouTube? Hisoka here with another Transformers figure video. This time we are doing Solus Prime. Here's the box. Age of the Primes. Solus Prime. There's the art. There's the Primes. Solus with her hammer. It's hammer time. Is it the soul? Is it the Forge of the Primes? I forgot what the hell it's called. My brain is not braining, so I can't remember the name of the stupid hammer. Wow. Anyways, she is a deluxe class, so she ranges about 25 to 30 bucks. Not super hard to find, but also not super easy. Check your Targets, check your Walmarts. I think you could even find it at GameStop. But yeah, I like the purple quite a bit. But purple is one of my favorite, if not my favorite color. She does come with the hammer, which you take apart to get her to wield it, like so. Like Ustle. Transformation is interesting on this one. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I don't hate it either. I just feel like for a figure this size, it's maybe a little too intricate. So the first thing that you do is you pull up her little thingy here, and you turn it, and that'll allow you to bring it over the end, and then you turn it back like so, and then you can come up to here, and you're gonna want to move these shoulders. You can be messing with these shoulders a lot, trust me. It is a pain in the butt. Come around to the back and kind of pull the backpack down. You can't make it go far. It's definitely a snug fit, because you're going to want to bring this grill out like so, and that'll give you just enough space to push the head down, and then you can just kind of leave this like that. Come around to here, pull this thing up a little bit. Let me push this over like so, because now I'm remembering a step. You actually want to come to here, and you're just going to do the full 180 turn like so, and then that lets you work on the legs, which you will take these and open. That lets you put the toe in, like so, and then close it back. And then you're going to turn these pieces, because you want these tabs sticking out. And then next, you're going to bend it, and bend it. And then you're going to want to bend it again at the knee. So again, you're going to want these tabs to go here, here, and you'll probably have to do a little, messing around with it to get them to tab in. They don't sit like immediately in. There is a little bit of a, I guess my new favorite word, finagling to do. But once you get them in, you'll hear them tab in, and there you go, like so. And then, oh yeah, you could also, when you're done with that, tab the feet together. And that's actually pretty much it. You're pretty much done with the whole backside. It's literally the arms and this whole piece here that makes up the bulk of the transformation. And Man, is it, it's an interesting one. Now, I believe you want to turn, nope, I'm wrong, sorry. You turn it this way. Open, and then put the fist in. Turn, open, put the fist in. You are going to leave these open, by the way. I like to move the arms a little bit out and about. Now, with the shoulders, once you have these, the shoulders kind of out so that you can mess with them, there's this little panel here. And you pull it out, and you just do a complete spin, and then there's a little tiny, you're not going to come into focus because I need you to, but it's right over there. You might be able to kind of see it, and boop, like so. And then you do it the same over here. And you bring it up like that. And then that's going to allow you to flip the figure over and bring this whole panel kind of down. Like so. What I do next is you rotate the shoulder pads. Rotate the shoulder pads. Lift them up. Lift them up. Because they're going to, and you'll see here in a second, I don't know what this joint's called, but you could pull the arms out. Sometimes gives you a little more room to move. Oh, and it helps bring this panel down. Should have mentioned that. So this is where it gets kind of complicated. There we go. That sits down. You're going to bring down the arms. Come on, like so. And then you're going to spin this piece back around, like so. And like so. And then what you want to do is you start bending at the joints here, which now they're not showing up as well. But you bend them, and it has to go over this piece, like so. And then it's going to end up down there, just like that. Do it on the same, on this side. And I think it's this arm. One of the arms earlier gave me a lot of issues, and I think it was this one where it just did not want to bend properly and come over. There you go, like that. And that'll allow you to bring this whole thing, and there is a little groove there and there, and I don't know how well you can see it on her arm, but there's a little tab slot, and it fits into the groove. And then you're going to take the open panel from the arms, and there's a tab and a tab, and you just kind of push it in. Now, these are really hard to get to push in because of how flimsy the joint is here. Like, when I push it, it just pops off. Which, you know, is easy to put back on, but when you're trying to transform a figure and you're trying to get the tabs to properly tab in, you know, it could be a pain in the ass. And especially when you're trying to film said transformation, they do not want to go in properly, and I don't know why, and I don't like forcing it because, you know, it's flimsy. They're not. It's really easy to pop these panels off. Really easy, but that's really it for the transformation. I mean, it's not a bad transformation. I don't dislike it. I just don't like how finicky and how kind of sensitive they are. And storage for the hammer. I think it's the Forge of Solus Prime, I think is what it's technically called. There is a tab here or here, depending on how you want to put it, and then you plug it in to the hole and set it up like so. Not bad. Like I said, it's a neat transformation, but I feel like lately the deluxe classes are having more complicated or advanced transformations than the Voyagers, and I feel like it should be the opposite because you're usually going to have bigger parts to play with. This is a small figure, smaller parts, flimsier panels. Transformation back, pull the arms down. At least that's how I do it. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it, but it makes it easier to flip all of these friggin' little panels out and over, like so. I go ahead and, I don't think it's in the, how you're supposed to do it, but I go ahead and flip the hands out because, you know, you're pretty much done with this stuff. It's just going to be fitting this stuff back together when you're finishing up with everything. And pull them forward, right? Yep. And then I mess with these shoulder pieces, and I go ahead and spin them back around. Spin, back around, get it set in place. And I believe you pull this piece back up, which it doesn't want to come up easily, because why would it? That would be too easy, you know. There we go, you pull back. Okay, there we go. So that'll allow you to snap the shoulders back into place properly. Shoulder back into place properly, then the arm, spin the arm back around, and then you can mess with the shoulders. Bring the shoulder pads back down. Come back to the legs. Untab this piece all together. Bend it all the way down. Untab like that. Go ahead and spin her waist. Come around to the back here. Open. Actually, I think you turn it back this way, don't you? Yeah. And then you open the tire up. Open the tire up. Pull the leg or feet back down. Close the tires up. And you're almost done already. You just pull this panel back down to bring her head back up. Push the grill back down so that you can plug this all back in. There are the tabs there, I believe, do go in. Do they? Yes, they do. And then the last part is really just taking this piece here, twisting it, pushing it down, twisting it back so that these pieces sit here. And then the hammer and hammer. Pull apart and push through like a saw. And like a saw, as I hit myself. Oh no. There we go. And yeah, that's it. It's not super hard. It's just finicky. It's just I like the figure. It's like I hate making it sound like I'm negative because I'm really not. It's a really cool figure. I love the purples. The transformation's neat. It's just I feel like it's a little too elaborate for a $25 figure, which has so many loose, like potentially loose panels that you can snap off or whatever. Where I feel like I wish they'd put a little more of the complexity into maybe the Voyagers and make these a little more easier because they're smaller pieces. They're smaller figures. So, you know, at least I guess they're technically toys, so they're meant for kids, but most of the time with the Transformer figures, these particular types of figures are for us, the adults. And I don't know about most of you. I've got, you know, a fat hands, and it's hard to mess with the little stuff. But yeah, overall, not a bad figure. Unique. And there's that's really cool that it's unique. And yeah, Age of the Primes, Solus Prime. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and see you later.